They use some pretty regular adult language. But otherwise,
Yeah.
yes, that's another reason why I
It's
don't
not
listen
like
to them.
Joe Rogan, kind of.
Oh, say no more. The bottom of
Rogan.
the pit of class.
I actually went with a cheaper mic.
Oh, yeah? How are you plugged into the
Okay,
computer
guys, we're
now?
going to go.
I'm plugged into the same place, but with a different mic.
Wow.
Yeah, analog always comes with noise. We're going to start the show here in a second. I'm going to try to get everything out in post. So in the regular podcast, it should be fine. Okay, I'm going to ask if everyone can load their Audacity up and get ready to record. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and hit record in 3, 2, 1, record. Oh, my volume sounds low.
Test 1, 2, 3. Test.
Testy. 1, 2, 3.
Better.
It looks slow. Mine looks slow, but it's cranked all the way up. Set at 11. I don't know what else I can do.
And if I was more like Steve C, I would be able to noise cancel his audio too, but I can't right now because I'm not as good. Okay, I forgot to insert some records into this spreadsheet of greatness.
Oh, Mark. That sounds a lot better. Can I still hear you?
I don't know, can you?
Barely.
1, 2, 3. Test 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
No.
About the same, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No problem. I just ask that you don't change your volume levels during the show kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay, this is episode 392, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Any secret handshakes I need to know or anything?
They'll just come to you naturally.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't realize you were starting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Nah, it's just if he feels my finger when we're shaking hands, and it's not that I'm making a pass or nothing. That's all.
And it's no longer a secret.
Oh yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
Now we gotta come up with a new one.
No worries.
I think we need a really long one that has claps and shaking of
That's
ankles
what
and
she
things. Yeah, that has clap. That's what we need. Looking for more of that.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode 392. I'm Door-to-Door Geek. This is the app show here where we try to bring you all kinds of apps, whether it's productivity, games, entertainment, cloud services, whatever it is. We try to find it. We try to bring it. I am joined here tonight by Eric Dini Media, or Dini. How's everything going tonight, sir?
It's going good, man. I hung out last night. I don't know if you guys did. I hung out last night until about 10:30 at night, and got to see a couple of those meteors go shooting across the sky. I was surprised how low they were.
Are you talking about outside kind of thing?
Yeah, there's like a meteor shower tonight and tomorrow, or last night and tonight.
No, I don't do that outside kind of thing. We are also joined tonight by Mark, the Sultan of the Soapbox Cockerel. I was trying to get that right and I messed that up. How's everything going, Mark?
Greetings, humans of Earth. I'm doing well, thank you.
Very cool, very cool. And if anyone wants to know, if anyone hears this voice and likes what is coming out of his mouth, easy. elementop.com. You can get all of his content that he's done before there and all of his future content there. Thank you for coming out, Mark.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
Very cool, very cool. We also have another guest, and this guest is special in a multitude of ways. he actually creates good things. And his name is Mark Seralt. Am I pronouncing that right?
They're as close as you're gonna get, Steve.
Awesome, awesome. I want to thank you for coming out. You are the glorious watch face maker. Um, you've been supporting this show for a long time, and you've made a lot of cool watches, and I'm really happy to have you on this show.
Well, don't end up making my head get too big, because I'll just float up, and then we won't have any sort of show here.
Make sure we have a roof over your head, and
All
we're
right.
good.
All right.
Okay, you make watch faces, and I'm guessing Eric wants to ask a bunch of questions about the process of making watch faces, the process of getting your watch faces published, and the kind of things that you've done in the past.
I would ask him those things, but anytime I need something done, as far as my watch face goes, I just ask him to do it. So I never really have even learned a part of the process to begin to make one. He spoiled me. That's good though.
Yeah, well, there's not a rough process, at least at this point. There's the ability to actually take the watch faces to market, but I haven't gone down that path just yet. So basically, the same way that you received it would be the same way that I'd end up, sending it out. Like for instance, Joe Licata, who's also a member of our club, he ended up actually purchasing the unprotected watch, which would allow him to make any changes that he wants to the watch. It would already have. I already had sent it to him where his name is, on it and everything else, but he ended up getting it to where it was unprotected. So basically, he could make changes if he ended up, learning a little bit of the code that's behind it.
And the watch face that you're talking about is the official 400 episode Android App Addicts watch face.
That's correct. It is
Yeah.
the 400.
That's cool, man. Now, you have you made some of the other watch faces that have tried to mimic some of the classier watches that are in real life, so that people
Well,
can.
I've done some watches, but not anything. There are some masters out there. They end up using Inkscape, and they also end up using like Photoshop and different things like that. Where I'm still taking baby steps with some of that stuff. So mine aren't quite to their level, but I feel as though I've made some pretty decent watch faces.
Now, you've been doing it for a while. If you were to start out fresh on a new watch face, how long? Say one that you're mimicking a real watch, and you've already got a picture of the face. How long does it take to build it in that program, Watchmaker?
Well, if I end up having a really good copy, you'd have to have a good uh, face to begin with. But the part that a lot of the masters end up doing is they actually end up being able to extract the watch hands out of it. They go and use the same watch hands on the watch that end up coming, from the actual picture, so that those watch faces end up, having basically exactly what's there. So they would use the background part of it, as long as the quality was high enough to use. Now, I've done that in some cases. I ended up actually finding some halfway decent faces that ended up being some vintage watches from like the Navy. They were out of like the 30s or 40s, and they didn't have actually hands on them. So I ended up actually taking the face, using that same face, and then I ended up getting hands, because I've got an assortment of places to get hands also. Um, and I ended up then taking those hands and putting it on there. Now, to answer your question as to how long that would actually take, as long as I've got a decent picture, I've already got hands to put on it. 5 minutes.
Huh. Well, that's not bad.
But
Not
when you
bad at all.
go into, go ahead, go ahead, Steve.
No, go more into the actual building process.
Well, you end up taking initially an image. Well, let's even make it simpler. You've got, in the Watchmaker app, you've got the ability to take, first of all, a color, circle, square, whatever you want, expand it out to the size of the um, face. If it's going to be square, you're going to go the whole size of the area that you see there. If you're going for a round watch, you're going to make that round circle as big as it can be. And then from that point on, you add different aspects in there. You're able to add numbers. You're able to add circles or squares or triangles as far as what you want to be on the outer circumference of the watch. And then from there, you would end up being able to add numbers, or maybe not even use numbers. You could end up taking one of the indicators and make one of them a triangle, so that would be up at the top. Now at this point, you're already making the watch a little bit fancier than what it just started out as. And then from that point on, you can add other aspects. You could add circles. You could add different things inside the watch, just based upon whatever you want to add. If you end up taking actually some other pictures and utilizing a transparent program, another one that's on the or at the App Store is actually called Eraser. The name of the developer, it escapes me right at the moment, but it's called Eraser, and it actually will take and make the whatever you want to take off the picture transparent. So then you can actually utilize either, like part of a circle or part of whatever you want to put on there. So
Could it be handy closet background eraser?
it could be. Actually, I can look at the icon is sort of like a clear space.
Yeah, like a
space.
checkerboard kind of thing.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Very
throw
cool.
that
Well,
link in there.
Well, a real quick question, Mark. There's two basic watch standards: square, circle. Can I ask
Right.
which watch face do you prefer, and what watch do you own right now?
I actually own the same one that Eric owns. I own the LG G watch.
Okay, so you and Eric both LG G watch. That's a square watch. Mark, don't you also own a watch?
I do. I have the Moto 360, the mostly round flat tire watch.
Nice.
Yep.
There you go. And I will say both of those watches get pretty high marks.
Yeah, they do. The Moto and actually the Urbanes, they both are out there. The LG Urbane,
Yeah.
based on the fact that they're round. And you've got different styles within LG as far as the round watches. Anyway, you've got the original LG WR, which is the round face, but it's got the sports style watch. Then you've got the other one that ends up being more of the luxury watch that ends up looking a lot like, the Moto 360. And I understand that roughly around September or so, we may see the Generation 2 Moto 360.
You okay? You do now, like our watch. You did for the show. You used Watchmaker. I know when I first got my watch, I played with one called Facer. Have you had much experience with Facer or in the developing on that one?
I ended up using Facer for a little while, but I ended up actually liking more of what you can do with Watchmaker. The Watchmaker has got actually a coding. I believe it's Lua, L-A-U, or L-U-A is the language, and it ends up being where you can utilize the code that's in there to do different functions. Like for instance, on our watch, I can make it change colors. I can, as far as you can have where there's a button and you'd click on the button, it would end up changing the background or the center, or, different things on the watch.
Yeah, from what I know about Lua, it's almost like a interactive scripting language. It's what's most heavily used with like the Conky desktop in Linux, which is the pretty desktop that shows you any types of information, whether it be weather, memory usage, processor usage, bandwidth up and down kind of things. It's all based on using Lua. It seems like it's often used in quick interfaces, I'll say.
Yeah, you're able to utilize it for weather, time zones, all sorts of different options that are within the watch. You know, from everything from hitting the one button to have it update to, if you recall the first watch, 300s, the 300 series, we ended up having those buttons that were on the center, and also the buttons that are in the background, which Eric's probably found, uh, where you've got access to actually open up apps on your phone from the watch.
Hmm. And how hard is that for you now? Is it drag and drop to get those in there?
No,
And then
it's not drag and drop. There's still a bit of coding part of it to do. It's, you know, there's a wiki actually that some of the masters have put together that somewhat breaks it down pretty good. It's still in the process of being built because really the app's only been out, I think, about a year, so it's in its early phases too.
I
You
think
know,
a
it wasn't
mic.
originally available.
Very cool, very cool. Mark, do you have any watch questions?
Wait, me, Mark? There's two
Yes.
Marks.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't have any questions. I played around a little bit with Watchmaker myself, and my experience was much like the other Marks. I started with Facer, and then saw Watchmaker and threw Facer away, and I've made a few faces just for myself. But yeah, it's pretty amazing what you can do with it, assuming you have the graphical skill. You know, the tool has made the scripting part really pretty simple. You just didn't have to be able to make really great images, which is where I fail.
Yeah, that basically goes with pretty much my belief about computing over the last couple of years is the barrier of entry to a lot of things has lowered so greatly. Uh, but everywhere, if you can't do images, if you can't do graphics work, you either need to farm it out to like Fiverr or you need to just find a good friend because there's no help making graphics easy for people that aren't good at it, like myself.
It's true.
Yeah, the tools are there, but you still have to have talent. Without talent, doesn't matter how good the tools are.
Very cool, very cool. So, Mark, uh, if someone wants to download the 400th Show watch face right now, what's the easiest way for them to get it?
Well, as long as they're members, because first of all, it's only posted in our club. There's no external links right now. Um, with the 300 watch, I actually did put a version of it on over at Face Repo, uh, and I haven't actually looked to see how many downloads we had. But this one, I sort of felt as though it should be to where it was a little bit closer to home, at least until after, you know, our folks had it.
Gotcha, very cool. And if you want to join the club, all you gotta do is send an email. It's by invite only in Google Plus Unity. Everyone who joins the newsletter at podnuts.com/AA club, 24 hours after joining, you should get an email asking you if you want to join the Google Plus group where you can download this link right now, watch the show live, and interact with the live chat.
You're on your.
Actually,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I
No,
was just wondering on your G Watch. I know your favorite, face is going to be the 400 Android App Addicts. What's your second favorite face that
Actually-
either you've made or one that you would suggest to somebody who hasn't played around with it yet?
Well, actually, sort of this one that I ended up. You're asking of mine, correct?
Yep. Or
Okay.
yours, or I mean, if there's somebody,
or any else.
if there's
Actually, this one right here, I'm going to try to turn it on and see if you can see it. Got to swipe away notifications here a second. um, I'm trying to get it to where you can actually see it without reflection, maybe. I don't think you're going to be able to. It's actually, I'd say sort of a gold color, but it's got silver that's within it. The uh, dials that are inside it, you've only got one line that's up at top. That one ends up telling you what the hour is and what the minutes are, and the only movement other than the dials themselves is one for the second hand, which it does go around. You've also got weather in the middle, and you've got the date and um, uh, the year, on it, 2015.
So it's not
Me,
a conventional watch face, like
no. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, there's other ones out there, that are pretty unique as far as there's many uh, developers. I'll call them developers because there's some a
Yeah.
whole lot better than me that end up being able to make Longines and Cartier, and they've got actually the turbulins working within the watch faces.
Oh.
So I mean, that's more there again, animation and different things that you end up utilizing within it. I've got some experience in some of that stuff, but I'm a long ways away from where they are.
I think it's funny to see some of the 1980s Casio just plain digital, watches that they've recreated. They say like water resist and stuff on them.
Oh man, that's one of my
Right.
favorite ones. It's a
Well, I know
classic.
that's cool, but I just think it's just so funny that we went retro like that to make what you could have probably went to Walgreens and bought for $12. That's neat.
That's true. Yeah. Well, actually, one of the ones I don't know if anybody remembers. There was actually sort of a Knight Rider watch that was out. One of them is actually listed on G Plus, but it would have been quite a while ago as far as where I ended up when I ended up creating it. I ended up taking the actual image and then putting layers over the top of it that ended up allowing me to make the watch a little bit more functional. So, because it would have been nothing more than a picture. So,
Picture of
of
Knight
course.
Rider with no I suppose so.
It says engage and different things like that on the watch, and you'd hit it, and might change the weather. Or I can't remember right now what it does. Everything right now, but I remember.
I think
doing
I do
like,
remember that one.
Earlier on in the year. Yeah.
Yeah. Dor, what would your watch face look like?
I don't know, that asteroids one I thought was pretty cool. Tell me if you
Yeah, I
guys saw
thought it
that
was
one on
too.
Google Plus.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because it's cool
Yeah,
because
looked
it's just
like Atari. Yeah.
right. Had the little spaceship in the middle and went around, and the boulders were just going by in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah. It was great. They randomly went across. It was cool.
Very cool. Well, I definitely thank you for coming out, Mark. And I want to encourage anyone, if you want the exclusive Android App Addicts episode 400 watch face, join the newsletter, join our Google Plus community. After show 400, Mark's going to release it on the normal quote-unquote platforms. Can I ask, what's your favorite platform right now to distribute your watch faces, Mark?
Well, I probably would still go to Face Repo. I think that's where
Gotcha.
I would end up doing it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. I want to thank Eric for coming on this show. Eric, do you have any last comments?
No, I want to thank both Marks for joining us, and I want to thank Mark Serald especially for making the show 300 and the show 400 watch faces for us. That's so cool to have, to walk around and have my name on my watch face, and you can join the club. Send what is it, $2? They can have or
Actually,
$2 they can have, or $2.50.
I had to raise it up a little bit because PayPal got the better of me. So
Okay,
yeah,
$2.50.
It's 1.5 and $2.50. The 1.5
Oh,
gets you it protected, and the 2.5 gets it to where the watch is unprotected, and you can make whatever changes you want to make.
So you get a really cool watch face with your name on it for $1.50.
That's right.
That's cool.
Very cool. And Mark Cockrell, do you have any last comments? And can I ask, where can people catch up with your activities?
My home on the web is elementop.com. That's element like the periodic table of elements, and OP like OP Taylor. That's a dated reference. People don't where that is. But yeah, that's where I live. I'm sorry I was so talkative tonight and took over the show. I apologize for that. I'll try to do that.
Don't worry. You can make it up to us later. And Mark Sultan, I want to thank you very much for coming. Mark Surratt. Mark Surratt. I never get it right.
Suralt.
Right?
It's
Mark Surratt. I'm going to call you Mark the Sultan of the watch face, and the other one is the Mark Sultan of the soapbox. I want to thank you for coming out. I want to thank you literally for all the support you've given this network, this show, this community,
Yeah.
this group over the years. You came out to maybe more live shows than anyone else. So I definitely want to thank you for that. And if there's anything you need from us as a show, as a community, or as a podcasting network, please do not hesitate to let us know.
Right.
Well, I really appreciate that. I really do.
No problem. And with that, we will catch everyone on the next episode. Okay.
All right.
Mark Surratt, go ahead and hit stop on your Audacity.
Alrighty. I gotta find it.
Okay.
It stopped.
Okay.
I should have asked
Go
on
ahead
the
and-
show, did you build watches before you got digital ones? Did you
No.
come from Switzerland?
It come-
No, I did not.
Okay, now in there, go File Export.
Yep.
Okay, change the file type to OGG, OGG. And then there should be a Options button.
Well, actually, it already says export as.
Okay, OGG. Yeah, then there should be a Option button or Advanced.
No, I don't see that. It says warning: your tracks will be mixed down to a single mono channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yep.
All right.
Then you see Options or Advanced.
No, I just see save OGG file as. Wrong place.
Okay, there's typically an Options button right there that will let you change the quality. Hold on.
Well, I might have an older version of Audacity.
Nah, still should be there. Give me a second. Here, be. I know. I'm guessing you're on Windows.
I'm on Windows.
Yeah, there's no Options or Advanced.
Nope.
Huh.
Save project, recent files, export as WAV, MP3, export as OGG Vorbis, and export multiple.
Okay, well, let's just go with the OGG. The OGG should be fine. Go ahead and export that out, save it out. Upload it to anything you're comfortable with, whether it's Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, and then just shoot me a link to the file, please.
This was what, 392 or something?
Yes.
Yep.
sir. Yes, 392. I'm just not going to change.
I'll add my name or whatever. 392
Sure.
Mark Sorrell.
Sure, should be good.
Yeah, I see that, Captain Zero. Sorry. Might have to upgrade to a different watch.
Yeah, exactly. I had a Pebble for, I think it was 3 weeks. I found it great for sleep tracking, but that was about it.
Yeah, well, actually, when I got the LGG watch, I actually had gotten it through Groupon for $79, like back in October. So
Good deal.
but the Moto 360 first generation is around 150 right now, so it's
Yeah,
half off. So
came
And I
down
have
a hell
about
of a lot.
78 seconds worth of battery left on mine. So
Oh,
let's see. I still got 31, and I've been going since 6:30. No, 7:30 this morning, and I'm Eastern Standard. So still got a little ways to go.
well, Mark Surratt, I definitely thank you for coming on the show, and I seriously thank you for all the support that you've given, man.
Yep. Like I said, no problem. You know, any time. You know, I'll be. You know that I can be available. I will. So.
Cool.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting you, Mark.
That's good to know.
Yep. Nice meeting. Well, actually, meeting you guys.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, sir.
All right. Later.
See you later.
Thank you. Okay. Now, Mark Cocker, what I'll ask you is roughly how many applications do you have lined up?
Not a one.
Not a one. Okay, then I think we should do an email show. Eric,
We
what do
can
you
do an
think?
email show.
Notice, if you'll remember.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
right. You mean you haven't found 20 apps in 20 minutes?
I have one that I want to bring.
See, it's all about quality, not quantity with this guy. I like that.
Well, and Mark, thank you for joining the club.
My pleasure.
Okay. Eric, do you have emails lined up? Sorry.
When am
Yeah.
I TVs for
A
the
couple.
penny?
Yeah, exactly. Columbia House all over again. Okay. Eric,
We got a
do
couple?
you think you have some emails?
I've got 1, 2, 3. I
Hey,
can
you
try
just let me
to-
know how much time you want to fill, and I got it. Just just to go.
Well, this is the show where if you want to go off on any topic, you're more than welcome to. Because Wednesday shows are just email and chatter.
And the Friday show too. You can go off on whatever you want to then too.
Oh yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I got a couple things I want to go off on.
It's kind of what I'm known for. I didn't intend to set out to get that reputation, but I wear it.
Mark, you
Yeah.
cannot decide what you're gifted at. It just happens that way. Okay,
My
very
gift
cool.
apparently is ticking people off, making the trolls.
Making the trolls fire up.
Yes.
Well, I try my best not to send trolly emails or voicemails to you
I got 2 today saying, "Why don't you rename the show Everyday Windows?"
guys. That means you're doing something right, right?
Oh, I don't know how to do an Australian accent.
Then don't.
I can do a British one.
Okay.
Is that close enough?
Yes. Okay. Episode 393. Okay. See. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Android App Addicts episode 393. My name is Door-to-Door Geek, aka Steve McLaughlin from Podnuts.com. This is the Android show that is actually about Android. And this is our email correspondence communications show. I am joined this week by Mr. Eric R. Ardini. How's everything going, sir?
Good, man. That's really good.
Oh, well, that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. We're also joined this week by Mark, the Sultan of the Soapbox Cockerel. How's everything going, sir?
I am doing great. Hello, Android app. I forgot the name of the show that I was on. It's
All about
too
Android.
mechanical for me to do my show. Hello, all about Android listeners. When I heard the episode that Steve was gone, I said, "Door, can I please join you, please?" And he said, "Okay, just this once."
Yeah,
So,
right.
hi.
Yeah, Mark's one of those guys. For some reason, and I'm sure he's gonna love to hear this. In my head, I always put him not maybe because he's 6'8", but I put him always at a little bit higher, and I keep thinking Mark doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't want to talk to me. He's busy doing other stuff. He's busy figuring out all the different ways to show his children the movie Frozen for 815 times.
So
He
that
would
number's
wanna-
way too low, Door.
I'm sorry, 8,000 or
Yeah.
80,500. But thankfully, he pinged me and asked me on the show, and I will say this. Anybody who wants to be on the show, you're more than welcome to be on the show. But if you already do a podcast, I know, A, I don't have to worry about your audio quality as much, and B, I don't have to worry about you understanding their schedules that are not under one person's control, but it's a cooperative effort. So it's much easier for them to come on the show. So I definitely want to thank you, Mark.
My pleasure.
Okay. email show. Mr. Ardini has a couple in the gun in the clip in the magazine, if you will, ready to go.
We do. Uh, I got one thing I want to talk about first, though. Just
Oh,
some breaking news, Door.
oh, okay. I don't
This
have
is
any
the,
breaking
and
news.
this bit of breaking news is only really important to Tim Bauermeister from the Geeksters. So I hope
Okay.
I don't even know if he has an Android phone, so he might not even listen. But anyway, Niantic Labs just broke off of Google now, and they are their own
Oh.
thing. No more Google parent company,
Well,
and
this
Ingress and Field Trips on their own.
well this kind of makes sense because I heard before they did Field Trip, they basically threatened to leave, and Google said, no, 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 no. You can do it here under the Google name. And then earlier this week, we had that colossal, everyone keeps saying, breakup, where now Google is not a company, is not the company. It's now the daughter company to the parent company, and they're putting out all these little sub companies. So this kind of makes sense with the splintering, if you will, of the Google people.
Are they doing this before the government makes them break it so that they don't become like AT&T or something? Now that they got their fiber network, they got their cellular phone network going, and their advertising and search engine and everything they're into, like data
I don't.
mining me.
I'm not high enough educated to comment on such a thing, but I do think it was more prescriptive than preventative. I think they wanted to do this. I think they thought it would better some of their efforts.
I
That's
think at this point, if Google has governmental issues, they could just buy that government.
Yeah.
So I really don't think
yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, no, no. He's not kidding. I live right by DC. I see job postings for the Google DC office all the time, and almost none of the skills needed are computer technical skills. Okay.
What are
They're
they?
like they're like office managerial skills, lobbyist type jobs. So yes.
I mean,
Oh.
Larry Page could buy Donald Trump. I mean, that's how much money Google has just laying around.
Donald would never admit to that. He doesn't need money.
That's right.
You're fired.
Okay.
Niantic Labs, you're fired. Go Ingress. Go play some games.
Yeah.
Go give. Okay, emails. Our first email is from Peter. G'day, fellas. I can't recall you. Should I do this in a British accent? Because his fourth word is blokes.
Well, yeah. This is Peter Cross and Peter 64.
Yeah, did we already read this?
No, probably not. But go ahead and read it.
Okay. I can't recall you blokes ever talking about any ballistics software before. I came across Strelok when perusing the Play Store. There are 3 versions. The free one doesn't allow you to save more than 1 rifle and cartridge load and is not updated anymore. The Plus version, from what I recall, was less than $10 Australian. Is it Australian dollars? It's a dollar sign. 10 currencies Australian allows you to save at least 10 rifles. Is it pounds? I don't know. Anyway. Each with a load data for 10 cartridges. Has 180 reticles and is well worth the few bucks it costs if you enjoy shooting. The Pro version, still less than $20 Australian, is more for the serious long-range shooter. It has a huge bullet database, calculates powder pressure variations due to ambient temperature, air density, due to elevation, etc., etc., etc. Read the details on the page, and he gives the link to it here, and I will put that in the chat. Yeah, I didn't realize that there would be such a. You probably already did put that in the chat, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
I didn't realize that they would have such a way to fine tune your gun by using an app, and that's pretty fancy. I'm not into guns. Oh, I'm sorry. He says, "Love your show. You fellas make mowing almost fun. Keep up the good work." Peter 64. P.S. Door, don't let those other 2 fellas get away with any smack talk about GNU Linux. I'd never talk bad about GNU Linux in front of Door.
No, but you've helped pile on with Sean and Steve C at times, and that's okay. I'm a man. I can take it.
Only when you drop out after chastising us for using Windows.
Well, come on. It's part of my contract. I have to. And I will say Peter 64, Colonel Panic, Oddcast. If you like hearing, again, like Podnuts, quote unquote, real people sitting around chatting, having a good time, talking about all kinds of technology, their podcast, Oddcast, however they want to call it, takes just about as many tangents as any good podcast I think I've heard, and I think Mark knows a little something about tangents, don't you?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I have been known to take tangents from time to time. Well, see, a tangent has to be connected in some way, so you can't really call what I do a tangent. It's more of a separate, Venn diagram way over here somewhere.
Exactly. Well, see, that's why I thought you would be good for this show, because just going off and then firmly believing where you're at is the right place to be.
Well, of course.
Exactly.
That's
Now,
conviction.
right now, just real quick, Eric, how do you pronounce this application again from Peter?
A second. Let me go back to that.
Because I don't know how to pronounce it. Strelok?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Strelok Pro. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if the word actually has a history in gun or ammo or aiming history. For all I know, it's STRELOKPRO. And I do have a couple friends at work that are really passionate about their gun activities, I'll say. So I will bring this to them. They did complain that there was something missing about gun calibration, aiming, something that wasn't really available on Android that they knew of. So this might fill that need for them. I'll definitely let them know, and I definitely thank you, Peter, for letting us know about it.
Nice. Yeah. It's by Igor V. Borisov Sports.
Uh-huh. For everyone, $12.40.
I grew up in East Texas, good old fashioned white trash family, and guns were everywhere, right? My mom had a shotgun in the closet in her bedroom because she was a single mom, and that's what you did. And so I know a lot about guns, but I didn't recognize any of the words on this app. I don't know what this is. This is rocket science. This is not shooting stuff.
Right. Yeah, this is taking sport and yeah, it's science. This guy, one of the reviewers said he had an 860-yard first round hit after dialing it in, using this app.
So it looks like a digital spotter for a sniper. Like if you don't have a spotter with you, you can use your phone to serve that purpose. That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Or like a caddy, like a golf caddy of guns. Tells you which bullet to use. Or, throws a little grass in the air for you.
Exactly what I was thinking, Mark. Okay, that's Strelok Pro Igor. I love Igor made it. Thank you very much, Peter. Okay, do you have any more emails there, Eric?
The next email, yes, I do. We've got an app suggestion. Not sure if you've. This is from Ben Peer. Not sure if you guys have looked at this one yet, or not. But Twittier is a pretty nice and simple Twitter client that's free and looks better, in my opinion, than Phoenix. Says another one is Cord. Basically, a new Voxer app. I think we brought Cord before. Also allows you to send voice messages to other users. Not something I actually use, but I could see being useful to some people. I also have a question that may apply to other listeners. I'm not sure if you guys will have an answer or not. I just bought an LG G3 to replace my Nexus 5. I love the phone after I rooted and installed Cyanogen Mod, and I couldn't stand LG's skin. But my only complaint is it feels like the camera has lost some of its image quality since the changeover from LG's ROM. Is there an app that can bring back the quality that the camera had when it was stock? I'm currently using the Google Camera app, however, it doesn't have 4K video recording or high FPS slow motion recording like before. Is there an app or a way to get that back? Thanks. Hear you soon. Have a good week, guys. And that's from Ben Peer. I told him I'm not sure how to bring that functionality back to the camera other than another app.
Right. Well, first, the app Twittier, I'm guessing it's pronounced Twidere for Twitter. Colorful bird origami logo, I'll say. I'm not going to say it's better looking than Phoenix. It looks card-based, so if you're really used to the Google Plus type interface, I do think this interface would be really easy to get along with, kind of thing. We did use Cord, C-O-R-D. Me and Sean Johnsoni and Eric and Steve, like maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
One of its biggest failings was the time limit on messages was like only 1 minute, I believe. It wasn't very long, and I've received literally 15-minute Voxers from people. Also, I think the group chat in Cord was slightly clunky. So if it's a very small number of people with very short messages, I do think Cord is applicable, I will say.
Maybe it could be the Twitter of Voxer.
Sure,
Short
if you want to
messages.
say that. Yeah.
People.
Yeah, and the camera thing, I'm not sure. Do either of you guys have any ideas?
I mean,
Okay.
it must be some functionality in their ROM, in the
Well,
app that they baked into it.
well, I'll put it like this. If a computer is being sold with Windows on it, gets 10 hours of battery life, then you install Linux on that laptop and it only gets 6. The real way to get 10 hours of battery life on the device is to put Windows back on it. I mean, because it's meant for that kind of thing. And that's what I'm trying to get with this. To put a ROM on a phone and to expect the exact same performance is almost a little unfair, I will say. If you really want the camera to work like it used to, you have two choices. Put the stock ROM back on, or try to rip the old APK off that old ROM and put it on your new phone.
That's true too. Yeah.
The other thing is I'm never sure how to pronounce her name. I just remembered. TNKGRL. That's Tank Girl. She's on Twitter. She's been on Android, all about Android, and she's been on many, many things. She used to work for Pebble. She maybe is the most highly, I'll say, experienced person when it comes to mobile phones, cameras, and camera applications. I guarantee you, if you follow her at all, you will hear camera apps mentioned semi-frequently, and she will tell you very quickly whether or not they're worth the time to even play with them. She is ultra picky, I'll say, about cameras, which is why she really likes the LG G4 right now. I believe that's her best phone. If you just go to tnkgrl.com, that's her basically blog. Scroll down that blog, and I guarantee you will see mentions of camera apps. You can download audio versions or video versions, and you can take her word for it. I don't feel comfortable saying you should try this camera app or that camera app when there's someone out there so much more knowledgeable than myself.
Captain Zero in the chat says he could try camera FV-5. Doesn't know about the max resolution, but that seems to be one that works.
If you're wanting to shoot 4K video, that's pretty specialized.
And I'm sure will suck down a lot of resources. Okay, I will make sure all three of these are in the notes. Camera FV5, Twitter, yeah. Sure. And Cord. I'll make sure all three of them are in the notes. I want to thank you guys for bringing these apps here.
All right, we got another email from Todd Evans. Hey guys, just listened to episode 389 and heard the news. He will be greatly missed. I don't know what he's referring to there.
Maybe
I enjoyed his, huh?
Maybe Steve leaving.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I almost forgot already. No. I enjoyed his humor and his infectious laugh. Hope he drops by every now and then to co-host or just say hi. I'm on my lunch break and came across some insanity called hopeless space shooting. I installed it, but have only a few minutes to tinker with it. The video gives a good portrayal of the gameplay. Frenetic would be a good word. A twisted mind was involved in character creation. Free to download with in-app purchases. Hope it hits the sweet spot for someone. Keep up the great show, even sans Steve. I know you will continue to produce great content. Looking forward to hearing thoughts on how the future of the show may progress. Sorry for the long drought of correspondence. I retired and started working at a new place. Wait, what? And that's from Todd Evans. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, I played this game. I was going to bring it last week, actually. It is kind of crazy. Did you guys check it? Did you check it out at all, Dor?
Actually, no, I was definitely behind in my emails, so I did not even get a chance to open this one up yet.
It's rated T for teen.
Okay, yeah, okay. This is a next revision. Like there was, Angry Birds and then Star Wars Angry Birds and everything off of that Angry Birds, and it's kept changing it. This is the second of an application. The first one was they were ghost, and you were in the middle, and there was light, and when the ghost would come in, you would have to basically shoot them back. So now you're shooting space zombie ghost
Yeah,
things.
yeah. It's yeah. Basically, they come in from any direction. Sometimes the things come in. Sometimes they're monsters. Sometimes they're your buddies, and
Right.
you just got to make sure you don't kill your buddies when they come in. But it comes one or two at a time, and then all of a sudden there'll be a huge wave of them. They'll come in, and it'll take us. If you've got some buddies stacked up there with you, after you've got let them come to you, and they kind of hang out with you. But then when you have some buddies, these monsters who do get through and you don't tap on them to blow them up, they'll take one of your buddies or two of your buddies so you can keep going. It's kind of weird when you do shoot them. They split exactly in half and you can see like their brain and stuff
Oh, nice. Yeah.
come out. Yeah. And it gets challenging. Some of them waves are pretty full of bad guys all of a sudden. It's pretty fun.
Right. Yeah. I don't remember now. This is not in the notes anywhere in the apps listing anywhere. Hopeless, the Dark Cave looks like the first one of these, with over basically 200,000 reviews in the market. That's a lot. And this one is definitely newer. There's only 20,000 reviews in the market. 4.1 average rating, 12,000 5-star reviews. T for teen, completely free in-app purchases. So this is definitely popular.
Yeah, they've also got Hopeless Football Cup too, which looks like some sort of a soccer version.
You mean football?
Oh yeah, like a football with the round white and black
Exactly.
ball.
Mark got it.
Football.
Football. Very cool.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. That was cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely put this on the sole remaining child tablet in the house and see what they think of it. Thank you, Todd.
We got. I think this might be our last one. Chris Setla, Captain Zero, I believe.
Yes.
First off, bye, Steve. I'll miss you, and so will everyone else. You are the third wheel that made the show great. Door, this is a direct response to your clipboard issue. I use Clipper Plus version 2.4.6 and Clipper Sync plugin 1.0.4. Did you already put these in the show notes?
No, sir.
All right, I will copy and put them in there. Copy. I haven't used either of these clipping apps yet. I think he just sent this to us yesterday, the day before yesterday. And
Okay.
and then he also mentions to get easy access from any screen, I use SwipePad version 0.9.19. I can sync my clipboard to any other. I can sync my clipboard to other Android devices, and I can create permanent lists of clippings that I need all the time. Things like long email addresses and other things I don't want to type over and over. This combo works 99% of the time. Regards, Captain. Must remember to make door scroll 0.
Okay. The first thing I gotta say with the clipboard thing is, I get a very Gibsonian response, is the way I'm gonna put it. I'm using TouchPal keyboard and I'm using the built-in clipboard manager in that keyboard because part of me feels like I'm already in the keyboard. The keyboard already sees what I'm typing. It's okay for the keyboard to have access to my clipboard. There is sometimes sensitive things in the clipboard. There's sometimes where LastPass will not fill an application correctly. And I got to go into LastPass, copy the username and or password out to the app, and then paste it in. So after I started looking at clipboard applications, I got very paranoid about what I'm putting on my device that has access to my clipboard. Um, because of that, I do not know if I'm going to install these. Here's the way I look at it. Okay. The developer for both of these clipboard applications, I can't pronounce. One is Clipper Plus with Sync. The other one is Clipper Sync plugin. 3,000 reviews on the one app's, 1,100 reviews on the other app. Total download numbers between 10 and 50,000 on the first, 10 and 50,000 on the second. The first one has not been updated. Well, it was updated July 5th, 2015. The other one has not been updated since November 26, 2014. I'm a little hesitant to install these. They're both out of Finland, it looks like. I'm a touch hesitant to install these and give these applications access to my sensitive information. Call me, paranoid or stupid, but
Yeah, you are paranoid, man. We got to hide door.
my passwords.
They'd never
Kinda-
know what it went to.
I-
And they're random anyway.
And this shortcut application, this I call it side launcher application, swipe pad. The video in the App Store is all of like 4 seconds long. That's pretty concise. There's really no confusing what this does. This was brought by Jeff Hallish, as one would say, episode 244 on the show. That's why it looked familiar. I like the idea of it, but what I do not like is the fact that it's only a limited number of apps, and to get to all apps requires extra clicks. I'm still using literally from Eclair, maybe, application called Smart Taskbar, where within one click I have all my apps right there available to me. But I do remember trying this in the past.
I've never had an issue with my clipboard.
Yeah, can I make a comment on the whole clipboard thing here?
Sure.
I understand wanting to be secure. I get that. But context is probably the single most important thing in terms of security. So if you're putting a password on your clipboard, that clipboard does not know what it's a password to. It doesn't know that it's a password. It is just data. So in order for the clipboard to do something nefarious with the information you put there, it's got to have the context. It's got to understand the password that goes with, or the user account that goes with that password, and the website that goes with the username that goes with that password. Of all the things to worry about, I would be much more worried about, for example, the keyboard, which literally tracks every key you ever type, than I would a clipboard. I think you got your tinfoil hat on just a little too tight on that one, Dor.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, Mark. That's a good point. Password unto itself is pointless, useless, unless of course I'm following a methodology with my passwords, which I'm not now, thanks to LastPass. Everyone looks completely ridiculous, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say you have a valid point, a very valid point. I'm not gonna throw in the paranoid towel just yet, but it's definitely over my shoulder.
He's walking around with it around.
Yeah.
And I think
Dumb.
even Steve Gibson, whom I idolize a little bit myself, would say at some point you have to make a decision to trust somebody, right? You've trusted Google or Android, at least when installed that thing. You've trusted your keyboard launcher. That you can't get through, as much as he likes to talk about trust no one. You can't get through life trusting no one, or if you do, you're locked up in your own basement. So just. Being safe is important. Being overly safe is just as harmful as being unsafe, I think.
Yes, I agree. It's a detriment. And I will say part of the reason I was looking at clipboard things was I was looking for an excuse to not use TouchPal. But I will tell you, everyone out there, the reason I'm hooked on TouchPal, I've been hooked on TouchPal for well over a year, is I can hold down the space bar and it starts voice dictation that doesn't seem to stop if I pause for a second or stutter for a second. It doesn't stop. It waits for me to put more input in. So it's very quick when I'm driving or whatever. Just hold down the spacebar button, up pops voice dictation, and away it goes. Um, the other thing, to be honest, is another stupid feature that I just cannot get away from, which is sliding backspace. Tapping and sliding to the left on backspace deletes an entire word. And I rarely have to hold down the backspace key to get rid of stuff. I just swipe, 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 and I can get rid of large chunks at one whack. So I need to start looking at more keyboards, but having a clipboard application allows me to look at other keyboards. So I'll install this on a tablet. I will compromise. I will put this on my tablet.
Put it on your kid's tablet. You don't care about his stuff.
Well, true.
Does that keyboard that you love have a number bar across the
No,
top?
I
Doesn't it
don't
have
want.
numbers?
I don't want a number bar because a number bar to me is too far. I'll rather just hit the number key and have a calculator style number pad where everything's really close.
Mm.
I'm a swipe user. I got hooked on swipe back in the early beta, and I'm stuck there. I used my wife's 1+1 just before coming down here, and I picked up her phone and started to type, and I don't know how to use a keyboard anymore. I moved my thumb to the left, and it just looked at me. I don't know how to type on a real, quote unquote, real keyboard. There's nothing real about them, but that's the one for me, and you're gonna have to pry it out of my cold dead hand.
Yeah, I do agree. I first started using Shape Writer, which was, I believe, the first swipe-based keyboard that was actually a leak. A company was designing it, trying to sell it, and they did end up selling it, I believe, to Samsung or somebody. But a leaked copy came out, and I put it on all my devices. That was literally back in the day of the Droid X days. And ever since then, I've been hooked on swipe because the longer the word, the more off you can be, and it still just works perfect. And my spelling is so horrid. I need all the helping hands I can get.
Yeah, it does sometimes with its predictive get a little crazy. There, for a long time, every time I tried to type A-N-D, it gave me. I don't know how you feel about language on this show, but the word for female anatomy that begins with a T. I never typed that word. How in the world would you think that's the word I'm typing? But then every time it got it wrong, it just reinforced that behavior. Oh, that's the word you meant. Right. So finally, I literally had to delete that word from my from the dictionary to be able to swipe the word and.
I was wondering, Mark, all those emails that you sent. We couldn't read them on the show. I didn't know what was going on there, man. Thanks. Dor, if you're going to be paranoid, I don't know. I'd be more paranoid about how every time my phone boots up it says Google. I don't know.
Oh, I'm not worried about Google. They already have everything of mine. Why do they only need anything more? They know everything.
Belong to us.
But I will say my Google opinion rewards are way off. Like Eric said that it asked him about, have you ever been to this hotel where he was there 2 days before? Mine keeps asking me about exercise, about activities.
That's a recent thing. Yeah, sports a lot recently, huh?
Yeah, well, again, no. No.
Right. And today I really felt gypped, man. I had like a 8-question survey, got no money for it.
Oh.
Sometimes these surveys are just for the fun of it. No, this one was not fun. It was 8 questions long. So.
Well, you got to take the good with the bad, Eric.
Did you fill out your CompTIA questionnaire?
No, I'm definitely behind on my emails.
I did that today. Got that done. I think that's it for emails. So now, Mark Cockrell, what is your rant of the day or your tangent you'd like to bring us to?
I don't have anything in particular. I had a joke planned actually, and Dor kind of ruined it for me. Like 4 years ago when you guys first started this, or you'd been around for a while, I emailed Steve C. and said, "Hey, I want to come on your show sometime, and I want to just act like a total noob and bring like Angry Birds." After everybody's on, or I say, have you guys seen this cool new app called Evernote? And I was going to do Angry Birds tonight, but then Steve mentioned Angry Birds, and it just ruined it. But Yeah, that was the tact I was going to take.
Was that
Well,
your one app that you were going to bring?
That was my one app. I was going to say, it's this
Oh,
new game.
darn
Maybe you've heard of it. It's really cool. It's called Angry Birds. And the idea is that there's little birds that you throw at pig. But yeah.
And we just brought Angry Birds 2 to the show like a month ago at the most.
Well,
Because that just came out.
well, don't forget, Mark, you always would have had there's this thing I found on my phone. I don't know how long it's been there. It's called Maps. It's amazing.
Actually, I do have one app. You guys have probably talked about this one or one similar to it. And
Angry Birds Star Wars?
Yes, Angry Birds. On my Nexus 5, some of the character special things didn't work. I don't know why. It just never did. Like, I think it was Han Solo, you couldn't fire one of those guys on the Star Wars 2. It was that one. It just totally ruined the game. So, boo Nexus 5 on that one. But no, this app it's called Mac Changer. If you've ever needed to change the MAC address on your phone, and the reason, if you guys listen to my other show, the reason that this was important, I was traveling recently. I took my Roku with me, and I couldn't attach my Roku One to the hotel Wi-Fi because there was a sign-in page. So I downloaded Mac Changer onto my rooted Android phone, changed the MAC address of my phone to the MAC address of my Roku, signed in, then changed the MAC address back, and voila, Roku wireless.
That is smart, man. It's very smart. See,
Well,
I've taken my devices to hotel Wi-Fi's and just been disappointed and walked away. I never thought about actually how to
You
get
didn't
around
have
it.
3 kids in the other room chanting High School Musical 3. Necessity is the mother of innovation, truly.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he's saying that. When you mentioned that on the show, it never even crossed my mind that I might need this. Because in hotels, yes, they often want you to sign in. They want you to agree to a terms of service or enter some stupid code kind of thing. The one I found on the market, at least, is by Boris X1 MACCANGER with a globe as the icon.
Boris again, man. 2 for Tuesday.
That one didn't work for me for some reason, but
Okay.
Mac Changer did.
What's the one which one? He's got Mac Changer in there. Is there another one called?
Yeah, I don't see another one called Mac Changer. I see Wireless Mac Address Changer.
I don't remember. Seriously.
What does your icon look like? Do you remember? Was it a globe?
Well, no, on mine it's a little Wi-Fi icon.
Okay, yeah, that's
One
wireless.
word changer. But
Yeah.
there was the Boris one. It was a different one. I saw that one too. I tried it. I don't know why. This says something about my personality. I went for it because it had the uglier logo, and I assumed the uglier logo was a better engineer. So that was,
There's definitely some truth to that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is the typical, stereotypical thing where a app name in Google Play is different than how it's displayed on your phone. In the Google Play Store, it's called Wireless Mac Address Changer.
Yes, that's the one.
But when you load it on your phone in your app drawer, it's called something else.
That's so
And
weird.
it only does work on your Wi-Fi because you can't change the Mac on your cell because then you wouldn't have cell service.
Right. Well, and I will say on the other one, it did mention changing the MAC address on Ethernet. If you have a HT Android device, some of them do have Ethernet, so that might be what you need for that. I want to throw out there really quick, Jide. Don't know if you guys have heard of Jide before. Jide is the people who tried to make the Ultra tablet the Microsoft Surface clone competitor kind of thing. They went on Kickstarter, ridiculously popular. They also did another Kickstarter a couple weeks ago for the Jive Mini. I did buy this on Kickstarter. It's only $40 for the 2 gig version. It's a small micro desktop is the way I put it. Literally about the size of a mouse, maybe just a touch bigger than a mouse. Has built-in Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, USB. I got the version with, I believe it was 16 gigs of internal storage and 2 gigs of RAM, and it was $40. They say it's going to ship in October. So yeah, there is Android devices with Ethernet. They're not. They're not big. They're not popular yet. But this might be. I don't know.
It comes with just the box, no other peripherals. You put it to whatever size monitor you want and whatever anything else.
Yeah, all it is the device. No keyboard, no mouse, no monitor, no network. Yeah, it's just the little device.
a, a capacitive touch power button, unlike any PC of its kind.
Why would that be a selling point?
Yeah, that's different. I can say I've got probably 7 PCs in this room, and none of them have a capacitive touch power
I'm
button.
so sick of power buttons that click. Finally, a power button that's capacitive. Welcome to the 21st century, ladies and gentlemen. If you're tired of your power button clicking when you press it, this is the device for you.
And you know what? And they were close with those resistive power buttons. I just didn't like how I could use anything to touch them, you know.
And it made a little dent after a while.
Yeah,
You get that little dent in your power button, and that's just not okay.
No. You don't want to use the end of your pen to be able to turn on your computer at all.
So maybe, I don't know, like Bill Nye, they're trying to change the world one button at a time.
I dropped my device the other day and cracked the power button, though. It was so sad.
Oh, not good.
Yeah, that's capacitive. Do you have ceramic buttons, Mark?
Well, it's the Gorilla Glass on the capacitive button.
Okay. I was thinking every other button could crack when you dropped it. I didn't realize
a little too right
that
for
one
you.
actually could.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say this is the kind of device I honestly think could be a good grandparent device, and it could be a good child homework device. Here's the real reason, okay? It's the cheapest device you can, for free, get Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and Microsoft PowerPoint for that can actually save in those default DocX formats or XLSX formats, which I know some schools insist on having that as their file format. So I want to get this, 15-inch monitor. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Put it upstairs for the kids and see how they go with it. See if they can get it infected. Like I'm sure if I gave them a Windows computer, it'd be infected in a week or less.
Multi-touch reset button.
Yeah.
Triple tap to reset. Double tap to put to sleep.
2-finger slide to I don't know. Swap memory chips.
No, to do backups, do a clone of the OS. But I figured for $40, come on, what's the harm?
You don't want to find out what happens if you just use the middle finger, though. That's bad.
Yeah. Might boot into Windows 10.
3-megapixel camera right below the capacitive touch button to watch you not do that. Yeah, I think we're out of emails for this show.
Okay, well, if anyone wants to send us an email, do not forget aaa@podnuts.com. And if you want to send us a voicemail, it's 707-6-PODNUT. Send voicemails in, we will play them. Send emails in, we will talk about them. And don't forget, if you want to be anonymous, you don't want your name said, make sure it's like the first line of the email. That's just a good way to, to cover yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Eric, do you have any parting words for the listeners?
No, but I just read in the chat that there's a huge sale at Amazon. 40 free apps, including Goat Stimulator.
Oh, well, you have me a Goat Stimulator.
Yeah, I've never forked out the $5 for that one yet, so I'm running over to Amazon as soon as the show's over to get my 40 free apps. Well, at least one free app.
Yeah, they say $90 worth of apps on sale. I will say I have very mixed feelings about Amazon, especially when it comes to apps, because the problem with Amazon and the problem with Amazon apps is not Amazon. It's the fact that a lot of app developers put apps on there and then they're very slow, or they just do not update the application, so it can very quickly fall behind in versions. I don't know of any apps that are exclusive to Amazon. And doing a quick scroll through the listings, nothing's jumping out as a must-have to get, especially stuff like AVG Antivirus Pro.
Yeah.
But if you are in the Amazon verse for Android, you gotta check it out. A lot of them look like they're just completely free, so that's good.
We like that. Free NG is good.
Yeah. Fruit Ninja 5th anniversary.
5th anniversary. Oh, time flies.
Yeah. Goat Simulator completely free. Very cool.
Super.
Okay. Mark, do you have any ending words of wisdom for us?
If you like Linux but don't necessarily want to listen to a Linux podcast, my show is for you. Everyday Linux over at elementop.com. It's the only Linux show on the internet that's not about Linux, but about life in the context of Linux.
And if you really call yourself a aficionado of let's just say fun to watch movies, you have to give that show a chance just to listen to the back and forth about everything from Sharknado and everything else in that genre of movie.
One of the best bad movie forums on the internet.
Exactly.
In fact,
Hey, I definitely thank you guys for coming out, and we will see everyone on Friday. Okay, cool. Do you guys need to get a drink or anything?
No, I got one here.
Man, I had off work today. I'm still tired.
How'd you have today off?
Had to take my youngest son to a psychologist.
How'd that go?
Good, because she said, I don't understand why you're here. Good, that makes two of us.
Good. Give me my money back.
Well, that's the thing. It, of course, didn't cost any money, quote unquote.
Dor, do you need these in separate files or just one big file?
Oh, one big file is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Because I can always just time mine. I am going to ask, though, for like a minute here to document all the apps.
Sure.
For some reason, when I talk, sometimes some keystrokes can cause my mic to mute. Even though it's Synergy, I'm over here on this computer, it causes this computer's mic to mute, even though if I come over here and hit the space bar, it's supposed to be the mute button, it doesn't mute anything.
That's the Google Hangouts for you.
Yeah, exactly.
We've noticed your typing. We've taken the liberty of muting your microphone.
Well, and that's the thing that really makes me mad about this is it works better on Firefox than it does in Chrome. In Chrome, I constantly have issues.
Yeah, I don't. I always run Hangouts in Firefox for that reason.
Yeah,
I run email and Google Docs in Chrome and Hangouts in Firefox.
Yeah, and I will say, I really liked, because for the Linux for the rest of us, I was using Meet, Jitsi Meet. Let me tell you something, that works so much better than this.
I got to say, Firefox just pissed me off this week more than anything else when they decided to change my default search engine from Google to Yahoo.
Yeah.
If I wanted Yahoo, I would have chosen Yahoo. I
and
didn't.
Nobody chooses Yahoo.
So the new version, it updated, and I'm trained like a good Linux user to always click updates 3 or 4 times a day sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I did a search, and I was there at Yahoo, and I was like, what? This company that says they care about the user and care about privacy and care about honoring wishes? Yeah, you almost lost me, Firefox.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Few companies.
And we're in between shows right now, Mark. You got to save that for the next show.
Oh,
because they need to hear it.
But I've been using Firefox since it was called Phoenix, and it was a zip file you downloaded and unloaded. There wasn't even an installer. And you almost lost me over that one.
And that's the thing. In the last 2 years, it seems like Mozilla has rode such a wave, such an up and down wave of, yes, we're doing good, to what in the hell are you doing?
How much do you think they got for that, though?
Oh well.
from Yahoo. How much per install or per? I don't know. It's
Well, it's per
heavily
search.
huge.
Yeah. Per
And
million search or something.
most people won't notice. Certainly on your Windows, won't notice.
Oh, there's a
Exactly.
lot of people who go to Yahoo, not intentionally, but they there's a lot of computers when you work on them that just I see you have Yahoo search,
Yeah.
or some random weird thing.
Ask.com. Has anybody ever voluntarily gone to Ask?
Anybody who updated their Java does, yes.
Well, no.
Really?
I will admit I did. Literally, like 8 years, whatever ago, when it first started.
Yeah, it was actually pretty decent back then.
Yeah, and there
The
was
Cartoon Jeeves guy was awesome.
Oh, jeez, that's jeez.
But it's not 8, Door. It's like 13.
I was about to say my sense of time is horrible. I can't remember how long it's ago. I know it was after Search.com.
Yeah.
And
I was an
Metacrawler.
Alta Vista guy back in the day.
Yeah.
When Metacrawler came out, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. I can search all of them at the same time.
Lycos before Alta Vista. Yeah, the web crawler. That was me. Lycos had the best maps on the planet.
Back then, you could almost reach the edge of the internet. Like, oh, I got through it. I'm
I'm
at
not-
the end of the internet. And then you go to bed and you start again the next day and see if you can get to the end again. Because there's new stuff.
1997, I had a website called The Fondue Pot, and it was a list of the cheesiest things on the web.
Nice.
Nice. That is cool, dude.
Good name.
Yeah. And it was links to Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard and all that sort of good stuff. Bongo, the Jungle Boy, Tarzan's kid. Yeah. That was what I did. I spent my days in between college classes finding cheesy links to add to the Fondue Pot.
And then it was actually like it took a little bit of talent to find all those off
Posted on tripod.com, no less.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now those sites are everywhere.
Oh man, back then you could get on a web ring and
Yeah,
all over the place, man. You could.
Jane, man, I had a banner ad. Punch the Monkey was on there. I hosted Punch the Monkey. I'm ashamed to say.
Did you have what was that other thing? Bonsai Buddy helping you find everything.
No, I never did that one.
I'm almost there, guys. Just a couple more from Captain Zero, and I should be done. Yeah. On the fly note taking. Not very smart.
So what we're about to record is Friday, August 21st.
Yeah.
Yes, the empty the tank.
Now, I came here running on fumes, so.
You hit the nail on the head right now. I think the problem with this show is, woof, and by the end of it, you're like gasping for air, coming up for oxygen.
Yep. If I didn't have to go outside and lay down and watch the stars again tonight, man, I'd be tired.
That's why I am literally, I will say that literally, close to paying somebody.
I'll meet you in your backyard door if you want to watch.
To just be in the chat and document all these apps correctly.
You could do a TaskRabbit for that for a few bucks.
I know, but if they're not here live, it's almost just as much work for me to gather them to give to somebody to document.
I'm in India right now.
You
You just give them the link to the YouTube the next day. And
I'll have them actually watch it and then document it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, 99 cents. I was wrong about that one. 0.99. I currently pay a guy in the Philippines to keep the beta site up because we're almost live with that. The next version of podnuts.com.
I had a listener send me an email that, in polite words, said, "Your website sucks so much. Can I build you a new one?" Okay. I'll let you do that.
Well, to build it is one thing. To launch it and implement it and have it go without everything going boom is something else. Good luck with that.
Mark, I must have been on a show with you before because I think I remember talking to you about when I first listened to, I'm not sure what show it was, but you said LMNOP. I thought it was LMNOP.
That's why. That's what you're supposed to think.
Oh, okay.
You're the one. You're the one who gets it.
All right.
That's
cool.
a joke for you and me, Eric.
Yay. But and then I thought, OP too,
And I actually tried to get the URL lmnop.net, but no, wasn't an option.
Okay, literally I'm 99% of the way there. Let me just click this, fill, reset. Why is that giving me a color?
So you built that you built that studio. I think I remember listening to you when you were building it or just finished or something like that.
Well, that was in the last house, probably.
Was that in your garage in that house?
This is remnants of it, yeah. I'm in the basement here, but yeah, I culled out a corner of my garage.
Yeah.
And built these giant panels of 8-inch thick wood with insulation in it, and then stuck an air conditioning duct in there because it gets super hot in Texas.
Are you still in Texas now?
No, I live in north of Atlanta now.
Oh,
been here about 3 years.
Much cooler.
Yeah, they still call it Hotlanta, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Exactly. Texas has the heat, man.
It's gonna be like I go out. Let's see. Right now on my phone, let's see how hot it is outside. It's not hot outside right now.
I had a buddy, the Mark who was in, I believe, the Houston area. He used to do hot tar roofing in Texas.
Ooh.
Absolutely, that's miserable.
I said, I'm happy to see you're live, number one, but I literally didn't see him for like a year or two, and I knew his height, so I said, I'm going to guess you're about 135 pounds. And he said, I'm 125. He was like 5'4" and not a lick of meat on his bone.
Yeah.
That hot tar spreads easier when it's hot, though.
Mm-hmm.
I have literally dug divots in the road with my car because it was the asphalt. It was so hot the asphalt melted. If you're driving, you're leaving ruts in the road.
That's something we used to do as a kid that this doesn't happen anymore. We used to go out and pop the bubbles, with rocks in the road. They don't make them like that no more.
We never had bubbles that I know of, but we did used to do the perennial, put the frying pan on the street, put an egg in it, cook it up.
Yeah, so July 4th, I was out with some friends here, and it got up to like 94 degrees, and they were all talking about how hot it is. I said, 94 degrees? We have a word for that in Texas. It's called spring.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it hasn't reached 94 yet this year here. It's 73 degrees out right now.
It's warmer than that in my basement.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Okay. Everything's finally documented. What is Mark saying? Meerkat stream later on.
114 in Arizona. I believe it, man. But it's a dry heat.
Basically. I know.
That's
That's
a dry heat.
I just know
it's dry heat too. I don't camp out in there.
Right. I just know humidity is it will be the death of me. It is like nasty. Some days where I literally like come out of my house and I gasp for air. It's so humid and thick.
That's the thing I haven't gotten used to here in North Georgia is like the average daily humidity is 70%.
Oh.
Just on average.
Yeah.
And that can be in January. It's rough.
This could be a game show for me, Dora. All I have is games.
Okay, we're on 394. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Android App Addicts episode 394. This is Door-to-Door Geek, a.k.a. Steve McLaughlin from Panos.com. This is the Android show about applications. All kinds of applications, but today I think we're going to be a little bit game-rich for at least one of us here. And today I'm joined by Eric Ardini. How's everything going, man?
It's good, man. It tastes a little gamey tonight.
Tastes a little gamey. Well, I don't know. Use more Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce.
Yep. Definitely. I don't know, man. I ran out of real apps or productive apps, and I just went non-productive games.
Real apps. Just tell everybody, Eric. Just go ahead. Jeez. You already did.
No. Hey. speaking of games, Amazon's got $90 worth of free games as of live right now recording. I'm not sure if that's still going to be going on when you hear this, though.
In the Google Plus posting, I want to say the guy did say now through Saturday, so which for us live is only 2 days away. So
yeah. Sorry about that. So get the Amazon App Store and keep your eyes open for the next one.
Yes, but a little tip, you do not have to use the App Store. When you do, it also downloads the app. If you log in via the web interface on a desktop browser, you can just click buy without downloading the application. Mark it for purchase. We are also... Sorry?
Sometimes I'll buy them for free, on the free app of the day, and just choose not to install it. And it's kind of the same way to do it if you're not in front of a computer.
Exactly. We are also joined this episode by Mark Cockrell from elementop.com. How's everything going, Mark?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to... sorry, wrong show. Hi. I'm good, great, thanks. How are you?
That's better than any opening we've got.
Eric, I am right here when you say that.
Did it get cold in here, or was it just Eric?
Yeah. Well, Mark, I want to definitely thank you for coming out all this week. And I definitely, anytime, literally, no pun intended, the door is open.
Really, 3 nights a week is a bit much to ask, though, Dor. I mean, it's a lot.
It only depends, Mark. You were doing 6 a week. That's nothing.
That's true.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to have this as the Empty the Tank episode. I will ask Eric. Eric, do you have anything in your tank that you would like to unload?
Yeah, I got 4 colors in my tank. My first app is a game called 4 Colors.
Ah, okay.
This is rated E for everyone. It is that doesn't seem to be. Oh yes, there is in-app purchases by Vertigo Ltd, and it's the number 4. The word colors, COLOURS.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would say that that's the correct way to spell it. And then it's got colon puzzle game. And basically, this is just a game where you've got a blue, red, a yellow, and a green dot, and you fill in kind of like drawing, or not drawing, but coloring. And you basically have to have these different shaped puzzles, and you fill in the blanks and not touch the same color to 2 squares. Does that make any sense at all to people?
Kind of. The border, if 2 shapes are bordering, they both cannot have the same color.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
That's a much simpler way to say it.
Yeah, thank you, Dor.
And it looks like almost like a trial error kind of thing where you end up, of course, you cannot have 5 shapes bordering one, or else you only have 4 colors to pick from. So you can only have so many bordering each other, but the shapes of them looks like they start to change. They all fit in the same kind of area of a square, but it definitely gets a little bit more complex. Of course, the very first puzzle is 4 blocks and just doesn't matter. Put any color you want anywhere. But yeah. It definitely looks like it goes up in complexity, but the style of this literally looks like something. They didn't take the guy long. Graphically.
and there's lots of levels. I mean, I made it up to level 12 in no time. So I mean, the progression from 4 blocks to extremely hard. There's a lot of levels to get there.
Hmm.
So you can play it for a long time while it's still fairly simple before you have to really start thinking. It's
very
nice,
cool.
Nice little app.
Yeah, and it's again free for everyone. Offers in-app purchases. Completely F is in free and G.
The next
Have you
one.
guys ever done the game? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Nope.
The game Gravitrex. You guys ever covered that one? Gravit Gravitrex.
The name definitely does not ring a bell. I will say that.
Episode 78. Dor brought it.
No.
Yeah.
So I was complaining on my show a while back about the lack of the standing in line game, the perfect casual game, and the developer of this app sent me an email and say, "Hey, try this." And it is literally the only game I've ever paid for. And I think I paid $1. But I went through the first 25 levels, and then you have got to buy the next 25 levels, and it kept me busy for, I don't know, a month, and that's a long time sitting in boring meetings at work. A month is a lot of hours of play, and I've burned through all the 50 levels now, and I need more levels. But check that one out. It's a fun little retro arcade rocket ship game.
Yeah, I compared this. I'm going to try to channel myself from a while ago. This is like Lunar Lander
Very similar, yes.
with vector images and limited control mechanisms. So it's all about the touch, having the touch of not.
It has the raster flicker that the old games had. They really were very accurate in terms of the reproducing that late 80s feel of an arcade game. And in fact, the guys do make a full stand-up arcade version of the game if you got about $3,000 to spend. But for $1 on the phone, the phone one is pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I love that look. Probably easy on the battery too, with all the black background and stuff like that.
And I'm sure I'm going to keep bringing games you guys have already done, because you've done every app in the store. But another one that I really love is called Flow Free. It's where you connect the dots, and I like the Bridges edition in particular, where it's like pipes. You got dots on the end, and they can't cross each other. And that's another one that just kept me entertained for many, many, many hours. And I can't say that about a lot of games, but those two both did. So those are my.
We brought Neon Flow Free, which
There's
actually
several variations of it. The Bridges one is my personal favorite, because
Bridges.
at least one square on the thing you have to cross twice, and so that adds an entire new dimension to the game.
Yeah, that definitely changes the algorithm, I'll say.
And there were times, like in the 11 by 11 grid, for example, where I would have all the dots connected, but not have filled all the spaces, and that doesn't count. So it's very frustrating. I made a line go everywhere. I made them cross, and it's still not done. And so I like games like that where it challenges me intellectually.
Yeah, we've brought quite a few of these. It's like running electrical circuits or something, kind of.
Maybe it's all those years of pulling cable that why I like this so much.
Yeah, it definitely connects with you on that level, I'll say. And the thing I like about the game, the word I'll use is anal. The game is anal. You're either perfect or you lose. There's no between.
Yeah, and worse yet, it tracks how many attempts you did. So even if you connect everything, you lose points if you have to backtrack. So it's like, they say there's 8 pipes, and it took you 15 tries to get 8 pipes. So even when you're perfect, you can be imperfect.
It's like real life.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's like people counting my whiteout or something.
Reports. Right. Hey, Eric, do you have any more?
Yeah, this next one was a suggestion from my daughter, actually. And she was surprised that we hadn't brought it, because it is the official smash hit web game. And now it's on mobile, and it's called agar.io, agar.io, and it's by miniclip.com.
Okay.
And I had never heard of it. It looked extremely familiar, though, when I installed it and started playing. It basically, you are a circle, and you're out to devour other circles. And the bigger circles who are bigger than you will devour you.
Yeah, this is, I'll say, like Angry Birds-esque or Flappy Bird-esque. This model of game has been mimicked millions of times. It started with Osmosis, I will say, is the first one I remember, where you have to eat things that are smaller than you, and you got to avoid things that are bigger than you. I will say, I guarantee you I looked at this before, but because there's no video in the store, I just glossed right over it.
And this is a multiplayer. Everybody across the world is playing against you at the same time.
Oh, so some of those bigger dots are other people?
They are all other people. Yep. If there's a name or a picture on them, I mean, when you do it on the computer, you can really customize your blob, and you can split your blob into two or more than two, and you can. There's another power up that I didn't quite get, didn't quite understand what it was trying to do. It kind of made me speed up maybe a little bit, but I don't think that was what it was trying to do.
Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I submit to you this is the only podcast this week where will hear the phrase "you can customize your blob."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the only podcast you're going to hear about this app I'm bringing next. Also, this app. I'm sorry. Did you guys have anything to talk about the agar.io?
No, not me.
Okay. Then I submit to you, sirs, Booty Man
Oh,
by Lilypad Studios, and Lilypad in this case is Lilleypad. And basically, Booty Man is sitting in a park, standing in a park, and there's this chick with a big booty, and he can't keep his eyes off that, and he keeps walking over, and she kind of thinks that somebody might be looking at her, and you got to stop looking and like start reading your newspaper real quick before she catches you. But you can't stand for too long because you're timed, and you got to get across to the other side of the park.
Eric.
It's just a really super simple game with a great name. That's all.
First, I'll say, Lilypad Studios has taken all of their effort, all of their time, all of their emphasis, and they've decided to just do this one game. Number one.
Yeah.
Two, you've brought in games like this before where you basically can't be caught looking, kind of thing. Almost like you might have, I don't know, a problem, maybe, about looking where maybe you shouldn't be. We were just in Chicago a week or two ago where there was Lollapalooza, where there was lots of females wearing bras walking around.
Don't shoot the algorithm door. I don't know why Google Play throws these in front of me.
Oh.
I'm not typing in the word Booty Man, wondering if there's a game that would be called that.
But Eric, it is okay. Booty Man, Lilypad Studios, T for Teen, 99 cents to buy, 2 reviews, 10 to 50 installs.
Yeah, one of them.
I don't even know how to process it, Eric. I can't even. I don't know how to respond to this. A game where you have to look without looking and not get, and you paid $1 for this, Eric?
I must have. It says it's installed, so yeah. Hey, Google surveys. I have no filter now. I'm getting free money to answer 2-question surveys, so I'm spending it because it only lasts a year, Dor.
Yes, I know you've said that before. Yes, it only lasts a year. Yes. Okay.
All right. My next one's just every bit as elegant as that last one. This one's called Pharaoh's Party. Coin pusher.
Okay.
This is a simulator of one of those great coin pushing games you'll find at a county fair.
Oh, I used to love those.
For those who can't go to the county fair, which is probably running in your county as we speak, because it's time for the farm kids to come in from the fields and go back to school, so they got to go to the fair to spend all that money they made over the summer. And this is a coin pusher. There's a couple extra things, they can't just do it like a regular coin pusher game. They had to upgrade it where there's these like bonus power-ups and stuff that can also fall off with the coins, but sometimes you'll get, I always liked it, they'll throw like little coin purses full of tokens or something in there sometimes.
Right. Well, I'll ask Mark here. Mark seemed to pop when you said it. Explain to the listeners that don't know what a coin pusher is, Mark, what a coin pusher is.
Well, it is at the county fair where I had to come in out of the fields. And how did you know, Eric? Where it's a little taste of Vegas in rural Indiana. You have this machine where you drop a coin in and you can, and on some of them you can like aim it left and right. Some of the bad ones you can't even do that, and those aren't even any fun to play. That's no different than a slot machine. You're just putting your coin in and hoping for something to happen. So there's a bulldozer like apparatus that's got coins loaded on it, and the sides are open, so that as it pushes coins forward, it's just as likely to push them off the side as it is to push them off the edge. Now, the ones at the state fair where I grew up, there were various things stacked on top of the coins. So if you push the right coins off, you could get a cigarette lighter or a switchblade comb, which I had, or something cool like that. But what you don't realize is physics is a son of a gun, because the heavier thing that they put on there, the less likely it is to get pushed over the slightly inclined ridge. So you would spend dozens and dozens of tokens trying to get that really cool thing that you were never ever going to get, and the carnies laughed at you. So that's what a coin pusher is.
I'm just still really enjoying the fact that you had a switchblade comb.
You didn't have one, Door?
Yeah. Yes, I did, but Mark admitted it. I mean, that's something else. I will say,
I took the comb out and put razor blades in it. Does that help?
Yeah, it definitely does. I had a older great aunt and great uncle who would go to Ocean City, Maryland, hon, and they knew the patterns for all of those types of machines, and like the claw machines. They were the ones who would put in, $5 in those machines, yet get 20 or 30 bucks worth of stuff out of them. And I remember them trying to explain to me the method behind the coin pusher game, and I just kept thinking to myself, this looks to me like a losing battle. I mean, the likelihood of you putting one coin in and getting two coins out is far lower than 50%. I thought, far lower than 50%. How are you able to do this? So I sat there for like an hour and a half and I watched them, and they genuinely put in like 20 bucks, but they got nearly 30 or 40 bucks out of the machine, and I couldn't understand how they were able to do it. They tried to explain it to me like twice. And the claw machine, they explained every 3 or 4 times you would get the real pull, and here's how you tell when it's the real pull, and then after putting 2 or 3 bucks in, you knew the pattern. So what my aunt and uncle would literally do was figure out the pattern, figure out where the pattern was at, then just sit back on a park bench eating an ice cream cone, waiting to see some dumb kid put his money in. Oh, not this time. And then have some other kid put his money in. Oh, then right after that kid would leave, they would walk up, put their money in, and get their stuff.
Huh.
I had a brother-in-law who was just a wizard with those, and maybe that's how I was. But every week he was bringing my daughter some random stuffed animal that he got out of a claw machine, because he just knew how to make them work. I've never gotten anything out of a claw machine in my whole life.
Yeah, ditto. Anything that involves the physical world and moving parts, can't comprehend. Even if it's a printer. If a printer breaks, my answer is buy a new printer.
Well, that's my answer when they run out of ink, because it's $40 for ink.
Cheaper.
Printer.
Yeah.
Exactly. So do you have any more apps, Eric?
I brought one for you, Door.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you better say oh. Now, this one's called Don't Get Fired by Quick Turtle. This is a role-playing game in your 8-bit loveliness.
Yeah. I
don't know if you've played this before or not, but
no, I did see it though.
You see the second screenshot says failed an interview?
Yeah.
I've never gotten past that.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't. I'm horrible at the interview, and I don't do anything to deserve getting failed, because I don't even answer one question. Maybe it doesn't ask me one question. Yeah, so it's like some story game where you get this killer job in Korea.
I can't download this game because right at there, the second screenshot, it says "Onth Company." I'm sorry, that's a grammar fail.
Oh yeah. After that, it says Tooth Company. Yeah, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The screenshot, "Onth Company ... Finally! ! I came to Korea! ! I've always wanted to work here! ! I'm so excited! ! XD. Let's get started. exclamation point. Far too many exclamation points, number one. And it's bad when the want is something I even look at. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah, that's just lazy
That is
right
one
there.
line of code, people.
Yeah.
And considering you couldn't even get past the interview step, Eric,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do any better.
Now, I'm not saying I tried a ton of times. I tried at least 2, and it did the same thing twice, and I had no way to control my destiny there. And I was like, well, you know what? This is we're moving on.
Okay.
I
Don't
also
get
hate it when I
fired.
see a program where it's got something written where it's like dog parentheses s, so it's one dog or 2 dogs with a parentheses s. Once again, one line of code, people. You can change that variable. I promise you.
Yeah, very quickly, too. So I was don't get fired from Quick Turtle.
That was my tank. And this one had a lot of downloads. 12,885 5-star reviews. I don't know, man. Pretty much like life. Kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, first 5 minutes you're getting turned down. Okay, well, okay, I guess that is sort of like life. No, I can't relate. I think I got the first job I applied for. So
Yeah. Okay. Mark, do you have any applications left in your tank?
Now, you told me my job here was to rant and bring tangents. I didn't bring any apps. Sorry.
Okay. That
do you have any
That's
tangents
okay.
in your tank? A tank of tangents?
Well, I was doing my best with the code, but you guys kept running. You're too good at staying on task. Steve has trained you well.
no, it's just that I'm a coder. I've actually coded stuff in the past, and these are the kind of things that I've literally pushed applications out to hundreds of users, and then had somebody tap me on my shoulder and ask me where I learned to spell.
See, I worked for 15 years in public education. I reread every email I ever sent 12 times because there was a dozen English teachers that were going to read that. And it was one of the most stressful events of my life was sending an email to English teachers.
Yeah.
I would be fired in a week, I'm pretty sure.
There's a piece of software that we just started using the other day, and there was an error that came up in it. I was trying to download a file, and it wouldn't let me get into the folder. And it said, the error message came up, and I chastised the people about it. It said, user don't have the authority to view this file. I'm like, man,
That's
ghetto
really
can you
what the error
get?
message said?
Yeah, user don't have the authority to view this file.
So that's what I would expect a support ticket to say. There was an error, something like this, or my favorite is there was an error, but I didn't pay any attention to it. Well, there's a reason those things are on the screen, people.
Exactly. Okay. Here's
Big
my
jewel.
tank here, and I think there's going to be at least one application that one of you guys are going to really like. And this first one here is called Shooting Stars, and it's by Noodle Cake Studios. Noodle Cake Studios, I don't know how much money they're making, but they are everywhere, and the number of games and applications they have on all mobile devices is almost sickening. We've all at least seen or downloaded at least one game from Noodle Cake. And this game is almost like the game 1941 or 1942, where you're the airplane, top-down view, flying up vertically and shooting on a portrait screen, except imagine if you did a lot of hallucinogenic drugs and you never fully recuperated. That's how I'm going to describe this game. And unfortunately, if you watch the video, it's a minute long. You don't actually see any real gameplay up until about 41 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is super neon-y, super bright, lots of shooting, lots of bullets, lots of power-ups, lots of music, lots of things going on. $2.99.
Weight.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was $2.99. I felt honestly a little bit comfortable with getting this, even though it said T for teen. When I looked at it, I didn't see anything adult. that was like sticking out at me. So I did buy it, put it on my oldest son's tablet, and I just asked him, tell me if there's anything on the game, because I played for like 10 minutes. I didn't see anything. Tell me if there's anything on the game that just makes you laugh, because I know if it's at all dirty or adult, he'll just giggle incessantly at it. Um, and he said no, it was just a silly game. And I do like, if you look at like the fourth screenshot or so, there's a reference to um, the Big Lebowski, it looks like, in a screenshot where it says, I am the only one who's even trying, and it's Goodman from the Big Lebowski, it looks like.
Yeah, this game looks crazy, man.
Yeah, that's the best way, to be honest, I can put it, is mildly to legitimately crazy. Okay, this next game is a Lego game. Why? Because Legos are awesome. $4.99 game, brand new. Only 6 reviews on it. Looks like only between 5 and 10 installs. That's how new this is. Lego Batman Beyond Gotham. Everyone 10 and up. $4.99. Does have in-app purchases. I am putting this on my kids' tablet because they still have Google Play credit left over from Christmas, kind of thing. And there's little doubt in my mind, my one kid is going to love to play it, and my other kid is going to love to watch it, because this to me just looks like a very, very well polished, good game. The Lego people are really seem like they're going all at it on Android apps.
Those characters are so shiny, and man, polish is right. I mean, it's like every piece inside this game has been waxed or something.
It's got Robin in it though. That's an immediate -1 point for me.
Yes, but at least it's the Robin that looks like it's from the old TV show. Does that help?
Robin was essentially, the sweet Polly Pureheart of Underdog. His only purpose was to get in trouble so that Batman would have somebody to save.
Right, and to say, gee, Willikers, and stuff like that.
Holy whatever, Batman.
Yes, but I will also say, to me, the other good part about this game that I saw was it has a lot of people from the Lego Batman verse in the game. Everybody from Green Lantern, which, to be honest, he was one of my favorites as a kid. I will admit that. Wonder Woman, Superman,
Is that the
whole
Cowardly Lion on one of those?
Your guess might be better than mine, because I can't tell, and I think that's a good call. It's some kind of cat.
It's either that or Lino the Thundercat.
But he didn't have a tail.
Depends on which cosplay we're talking about.
Oh, now we're getting deep. Okay. But again, Lego Batman Beyond Gotham, $4.99. E for everyone, 10 and up in-app purchases. If you got a Lego kid, it's really hard to not try to get them these kinds of games.
Yeah.
Okay, what I have here now is going to, I think, spark some retro things here. Okay, this is called Battle Golf by Capsule, Kappsule. E for everyone. No in-app purchases, completely free. This is like the old, I want to say, tank game, where there was 2 people on each side of the screen, or you could have more, where you could change your angle and your power and try to shoot each other. This is like that, but in the middle there's golf. There's a golf hole, and you're on each side of the screen. Can be two player game, to where you're each in control of the angle and the power of your shot, with the goal of course, trying to make a hole-in-one or a golf shot. But there's a lot of interactive stuff going around, but it looks literally like something out of like 1979.
Looks like in television.
Yes.
I can see your tank reference, but yeah, there's
the old game I used to play was called Scorched Earth, and it was an old freeware game where it was like that, where you launched your tanks back and forth. Launch Your Artillery. I mean, it's a basic artillery game, but with golf.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Only instead of attacking your opponent, you're trying. It's a neat take on it.
It looks like you could also attack your opponent, but
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you?
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. In the video, at one point in time, the guy on the left hits the ball, and it literally hits the other guy across the screen right in his head and knocks him over.
Anybody wearing those pants deserves a golf ball to the head.
Not gonna argue that. Okay, yeah, that was Battle Golf. Stupid fun. It's free. It's hard to beat free. What I'm going to bring here next, I have to bring, only because it's going to be utterly popular is what I'm going to say. Disneyland. It's finally, quote unquote, a official app for Disneyland by Disney, where it does also show you the distance something is from you, how much weight is involved with the app. Can help you with your staying inside the park kind of thing, and it can help you organize your day kind of thing. I despise the company Disney itself. I don't like how they've influenced United States law and everything else. But for entertainment purposes, it's hard to beat Disney. And for family entertainment, for family fun, it's really hard to beat Disney. So I can tell you, next time we go to Disney, which it is inevitable, we will, it's just a question of when, I'm going to have to install this app and see how much it can help me get around the park, find good things to do in a timely fashion, and figure out direct routes of where to go.
I've never been to Disney, but any app like this for anywhere you go, I love it when they make apps like these.
Yeah.
I took my family to Disney World a couple of years ago, and we downloaded the My Disney Experience app, and it is handy for the time you're there. But like you, Dora, I felt dirty when I left. I had to purge my system of that app because it's just Disney World, Disneyland. It's essentially a mall with characters walking around. The whole thing is designed to get you to buy stuff.
Yes. The whole time I'm walking around, it's like I hear a vacuum cleaner trying to suck money out of my pocket.
It's not like just going to Great America or something where you just go
No.
on rides and stuff like that.
No, Disney is much more aggressive about taking the money. And unfortunately, my wife had access to the accounts. So, Okay, I have to bring this one in memory, in homage of Steve Turbino, who is a music aficionado. Even if he doesn't call himself that, compared to me, he's a music genius. This is called a Stage Light, not Stage Fright. Mini rant. Anyone over 4.0, it doesn't matter if you're protected against stage fright because it's useless. Useless. Address Space Layout Randomization, ASLR. That's been in Windows since Windows Vista, I believe, and it was in Android since version 4.0 and up. Because of Android, because of the address space layout randomization. I know how to get that out. Your memory is basically scrambled at each boot. So every time you boot, things are put into RAM in a different place. Thus, exploits are extremely difficult to actually be successful. So the likelihood of you having stage fright on your phone, being vulnerable to it, and having somebody run an exploit in it is greater than 1 in 10 billion. So don't worry about stage fright. I had a guy email me too. Don't worry about stage fright. In fact, don't even care about stage fright. Do not disable MMS. Don't even say the word stage fright again, or I will come and I will pop the tires on your car. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to worry about it. If you're running something older than 4.0, I'm sorry. Go get a new device. It's been a while. It's been a long while, actually. And if you're on a semi-popular device, at least, that is running something older than 4.0, ROM it. ROM it is something new. I mean, you're going to get a better experience anyway. So, stage fright, again, what a surprise, overhyped, pointless, meaningless, and 90% of 90+% of the people out there do not have to worry about it. Mini rant over. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this music thing is called Stage Light by Open Labs LLC. Completely free. Does have in-app purchases. This to me looks like it's trying to be a more complex, more sophisticated song editor, music arrangement editor. I'm sure in the grand scheme of things, this is not professional level, but there's little doubt in my mind someone new into the idea of music creation can learn something and just have fun with an application like this. Learning some stuff about looping, arrangements, tempo, and other kinds of things.
You can't save unless you pay for it.
You're right. You cannot save unless you pay for it, and it will give you the ability to save to their service, I believe, and share with their service. But to share it on the device or to share to anything else, I do believe costs money.
I don't know what it takes, but it says incompatible with all of my devices, and I have some serious flagship devices, so I'm stunned by that.
It will install on my Nexus 7. That's it.
Well, mine is even more obscure. It will install on my Cube i6 Air 3G China tablet. It will install on my JDX S7800 Chinese gaming tablet. It will install on my son's RCA, in air quotes, quad-core tablet, but on nothing else. So, I'm going to guess
Tablet app.
well, but they're new. Again, only 40 reviews in the market. 5,000 downloads, updated July 28th. My guess is they're still in the upswing of this kind of thing. Hopefully they get more hardware support is what I will say. Because to have low hardware support like that, it hurts you. It hurts your brand. It hurts your application.
You were talking about 4.0, so I had to check real quick to make sure what operating system I was running on. And I gotta say, this Nexus 7, I've been complaining about it since the day it arrived, and it never had anything but KitKat on it since the day it arrived. I used the Nexus Toolkit, installed 4.1.2 on it, and this thing is as spunky as my 2013 Nexus 7, or it doesn't lag or anything like it. It was unusable lag on whatever Lollipop, and it's usable. I'm happy. I'm really happy for a free tablet, or essentially free.
Yeah, on that tablet, I do believe there was a sweet spot with OSs, and as time went on, it got more bitter and more bitter to where if you're up to date on that tablet, you have a horrible experience.
Mm-hmm.
Which is sad because it's a Nexus. Okay, here's the last app I have for the day. Amazon. Love them or hate them, some people will not use Google Drive. Some people will not use Microsoft OneDrive. Some people will not use other services. They're so embedded in the ecosystem of Amazon. Well, Amazon also has cloud storage. Okay, if that is your container of choice, I'm going to say, to store your files, there is now an Amazon Android application called Amazon Cloud Drive. Basically exactly like Dropbox, exactly like Google Drive, exactly like all those other applications, will let you basically map your device right to your cloud drive to where you can upload, download, copy, send files, and do some limited viewing. I'm not sure about editing of content, but at least viewing of content directly on your drive. Completely free because the drive space costs money. For everyone, no in-app purchases. So if you're a part of Amazon's system, this is probably a very good app to have.
Somehow I've never used Amazon Cloud Drive. This is not S3, Amazon S3 or something like that, right?
No, I do not believe it's S3. I do not believe it's Glacier. I do not believe it's any of that. It's just cloud storage. I believe this is connected with their music upload service. To where if you upload your music, you can put it in that quote-unquote cloud drive.
A
Yeah,
dollar a month so it's $12 a year, and you can get 3 months for free.
yes, but I do not see what
Unlimited
is
photo
the,
storage.
well, they say unlimited, but I'm sure,
Oh, unlimited photo storage for Amazon Prime members. Other storage plans start at $12 a year. Let's
Gotcha.
see.
And if you're
Yeah.
not an Amazon Prime member, just go do that right now. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, to
And
be a Prime member? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and the one thing I will just throw out there for anyone who has bad experiences on Amazon, the nicest way I can put it, it's probably your own fault. It's just like the people who go on eBay and have bad experiences. You have to look at who you're purchasing from. Just because it's on Amazon does not mean you're buying it from Amazon. And when you fight and you scrape and you claw and you try to find those super cheap deals, I guarantee you the cheapest of the cheapest deals is not sold by Amazon. Thus, you might not get the quality of service or the quality of product because you're not dealing with Amazon. You're dealing with somebody else. So
You
always look
hurt
who
my
you're buying
heart.
from. It's true.
I know, but that's like my exact rant that I had last week about my Note 4 case. Anyway, hey, and you know what? Sean John Sony shared this with me. I'm going to share it with our listeners. I may regret doing this because I'm getting some killer deals right now. And when all of the listeners go and flock to this website, they're going to take some of my deals away. But there's this website called AMZ Review Trader, all one word, AMZ, and then reviewtrader.com. Basically, what it is, they verify that you have an Amazon account. Then you can shop on this website. And what this website does is makes deals with the people who Door's talking about, the third-party sellers, and their products. And they need, okay, the way Amazon works, people ain't gonna buy it unless you got good reviews, usually. So what they want is reviews on their stuff, and honest reviews. Not It doesn't have to be just good reviews. So this is a place where they will deeply discount the price of things for your review within 10 days of receiving the item. And I've already had Bluetooth headsets sent to me, um, some LED lighting. I've probably had a dozen things sent to me at super ridiculous cheap prices. Now, as you look through here, though, there are some things that I would say aren't discounted at all. So you can't just go through it, but you can't just buy it right off the bat. You need to go in there, look for things, and then if there's something you think you might want to review, you click a button that says request review, and then the seller will decide whether you're going to review their item or not, and then they'll email you a coupon code if they feel that they want you to review their item.
Yes, I will say there is a insane spectrum of things you can get off of this. Like literally anything you can think of, but unfortunately everything also you can't think of is also here. Um,
Yeah.
but when Eric says deep discounts, to be honest, a lot of times it seems like it's well above 50% discounts. Which if you actually look around, I guarantee you will find plenty of stuff 90% off or more. And if you leave a bad review, it's a review. If you leave a good review, it's a review. They just need reviews, and they're hoping their product is good enough to get good reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some. I mean, I have given some bad reviews. Like, so, for instance, I got some oven gloves. Oven gloves. You can't really mess them up, can you?
I
As
guess
long
you
as they don't,
can.
as long as things don't burn your hand when you take it out of the oven, you're
Yeah.
probably pretty good. Only problem is with this set, the fingers were extremely short,
Oh.
like ridiculously short. The gloves were huge and the fingers were really short, so I had to ding them on that one. But and then I got a set. I got for $5. This is just one of the examples. For $5, I got two 20-inch multicolor LED under cabinet lights with the hardware to mount it and everything,
Hmm.
and a remote control to change the color and change the setting of the way the lights change on their own and things like that, and they fade in and out or switch colors on their own. It's just cool little things like that. tons of phone cases and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I did
Lots
see
of those
that.
for free. There's a lot of stuff on here for free, and the shipping's always free too. So it's not like, you know, I don't know, can't really go wrong for free. Just don't forget. Now they do say if you don't get your review up there within 10 days, they'll boot you. You're out. You won't be able to buy no more stuff.
So you don't really get every review is a shallow review then, because you can't live with the product.
What's that?
If you have to review it within 10 days, every review is a shallow review. You can't live with the product for a month. You can't really see. When I make a review, I like to make it weeks or months later, so that I can review the longevity, the overall life of the device, not the first impression. Looks like all they're interested in is first impression reviews.
I agree.
You can, yeah. I mean, you can always go back and revise your review later.
Yeah, it's one of
Yeah,
my.
you're welcome to do that.
I always look at the reviews when I buy something on Amazon. I don't buy it without looking at the review. But one of the things that frustrates me is there's 200 5-star reviews that begin with "I just got this and it sure is shiny."
Yeah.
That's not a review.
And they do require that you say in your review, I was offered this at a discount for review purposes or something like that too. So people, when they're reading the Amazon reviews, they know that, you know, there's something to your review like that where it's not 100% just, you know, you needed that thing and you bought it. Now you're reviewing it.
I think reviews are one of the. We're going to look back in history and say this was one of the pivotal technologies that really changed the way we buy things. Peer reviewing online is immensely helpful. The problem is almost everybody does it wrong.
That, and unfortunately, anything that's helpful or valuable also then has the potential to be gamed.
Right.
So it's something that it's one of those things when you look at something, you can't just assign a weight to it without review, because unfortunately there will always be people out there just doing whatever they got to do to get good reviews. I will say I am tempted to do this, just because I can always use better things, whether it be just, earbuds, phone cases, tablet cases, or whatever. But I actually do see a couple things here that might be good for the home, like silicone cookware stuff. I like to cook.
Yeah, just don't get the oven gloves.
Just no oven glove.
They got some men's bicycle shorts with pads in the derriere for you, door.
You had me at bicycle shorts.
Is there padding in the front? That's really what I need more than. No, sorry.
Not an image I need.
It doesn't let me see the other side. Can't tell. Yeah, like this is another one I got. This glass, tempered glass. Door was raving about his tempered glass screen protector, so I found one on here for free, and they shipped it to me. And and my review is kind of weird, and I actually updated my review after I wrote it. The glass screen protector, okay. My house isn't super dusty, but I got a piece of dust on there. It did allow me to remove it and take it off, and it just got worse every time, and then I had 2 pieces of dust. But then and this was all with the phone off. Now when I turn the phone on,
can't see it.
All my flaws are gone. It's perfect. So I wrote back in my review. I'm like, I was a little too hard on myself. It's actually great. It works good. As long as I didn't take a drill to it to really test that part of it.
Well,
but yeah,
I hope not. I will say every cover I get, I always buy at least 2 or 3 of them, just because if you don't get it on there perfect, my logic is you peel it off, you throw it away, because it's never going to get better when you try to apply it. And you left Chicago early, Eric. Ask one of the other guys there how many times I dropped my phone in the time span of 5 minutes. I know I dropped it at least 5 times on the concrete. And I do believe the tempered glass does help the screen stay a little bit more rigid so it doesn't break.
I saw you drop it a couple times, and you've got like some kind of weird breakaway case that just makes a ton of noise and flies everywhere.
It sounds horrible.
It's one of those cases designed by NASCAR. It takes a hit and just explodes into pieces.
Well,
I had one of
it's
those.
a metal case, like metal. And when it falls, the back just goes and it just flies away, but it literally sounds almost like glass breaking when it hits.
Yeah, it's scary. Is his piece, his back goes flying over there. Everybody just knows that his phone's in 5 pieces and shattered. When you listen to it.
Yeah.
But
Every time I drop it, I'm like, don't worry about it, it's fine.
but everybody's like, "Oh, dude, you're hoping it's fine because we heard that."
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I broke the glass on my phone. It was just one of those fluke things. It fell just right at just the right angle and hit a rock on the pavement at just the right corner and cracked it. And then I had it replaced, and the guy where I replaced it was a real bargain. I didn't think to ask why it was a real bargain. It wasn't a Gorilla Glass screen. So the second one broke, I sat down with it in my pocket, and it broke. I'm like, all right, fine. But I've already spent enough now that if I get another screen on it, I might as well get a new phone. So I've just been living with a cracked screen. So that's something to be looking for. Just a word of advice: if you do a screen replacement, ask what kind of screen it is, because there's a difference between a tempered glass and a Gorilla Glass.
How long did it last before you cracked it the second time?
A month.
Yes. Well, from a person who used to do screen replacements, sometimes they don't get all the glass out of there, and that's the easiest way to break it again, because they'll have a little bit of glass still stuck in there, just a tiny micro piece of glass, and that's when you break them sitting down with it in your pocket or something. I've seen.
I just figured the only reason I replaced it the first time is it was cutting my finger. It was a jagged piece.
Oh.
This one, this one's just a spider crack. I can live with that.
Packing tape, clear packing tape.
Right. Okay, well, that's all the apps I have for this week. I'm going to leave the rest, the other 10, on the floor kind of thing. Eric, do you have any words of wisdom to end the week off?
No, I gave it all out already. I don't...
Dude.
Okay, use suntan lotion.
Sunblock.
Okay.
You don't want to use butter.
Don't use butter.
Don't use butter. Okay. Mr. Cockrell from elementop.com, do you have anything else you would like to say to everyone?
My word of advice is don't install beta versions of Ubuntu. Just never.
Yeah.
Never do that.
Good man. Smart man. And I am door-to-door-geek at podnuts.com. If you want to contact us, just send us an email at aaa@podnuts.com. You can send a voicemail in. It's 7076-podnut. And I want to thank everyone for their support. Thank everyone for downloading the show. Thanks for everyone joining the club. And thanks for everyone who does go to podnuts.com/Amazon. You guys help support the network much, much more than I think you actually realize that you do. So thanks, everyone, and we will see everyone next week.
Audacity.
Eric had to mention that site, and I couldn't stop browsing it.
Oh, man, dude.
I know.
Some good stuff. You guys ever tried those little those garden hoses that shrink up to like a small thing?
Hell no, I ain't tried it.
Got one of them for $3 today on there.
Hey, Eric, by BitTorrent's sake, it has to be dead. I'll say that. It has to be dead. I have OwnCloud running on my Banana Pi here.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, I can send you an email with instructions, user credentials. You can install an application just like Dropbox on your device, Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever. Install it, put the information in, and it will literally sync a folder with me to you, if that's an option.
Yeah.
I can do that for you, send you that information.
Mark,
any way you get the file to me, it doesn't matter as long as, I can download it, it's all good. What I will ask is if you can, export it in OGG quality of at least 7 or 8. There should be options when you go to export.
This was 382 through 384? 5? 2, 3, and 4, right?
392, 3, and 4. Now I gotta go back and document all the apps from that last show. Yeah, they have, for some reason now, Eric, this site, AZ Reviews, it's extremely, what's the word? I don't want to say pill crazy, but
Oh, there's a lot of
supplements,
I would never ever
which
order anything like that off of
well,
there.
I just get so mad at the fact they're called supplements. There needs to be a better, more accurate word for them. Um,
Fake pills?
well,
I don't know. I don't know.
they do get too much credibility, but that's just my opinion. You know, turmeric. Give me some turmeric pills.
That isn't that a spice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, man,
Anything sold as a supplement, by definition, has no effect.
right.
If it has an
That's-
effect, it has to be marketed as a drug.
Well, I mean, it could turn your pee colors,
Yes.
but not much more than that.
So, we're still live. I can't ask you.
Do you want me to turn off the live stream, Eric?
No, it's okay. I can ask you later. It's no big deal.
Okay.
Something about your own cloud, your other link that you sent me before.
Yeah, you have to accept the security exception because it's a self-signed cert.
I did that, and I got a folder that says Windows 10. Oh, that was part of
Yes, then you click that, and then you should see the ISO file.
Yeah, I don't get nothing in there. There's nothing in there.
Oh, well, I can check mine. I can check mine. I will say this version of OwnCloud does seem to be utterly ridiculously stable compared to what I tried before. Okay.
Guys, I'm not exaggerating when I say I'll come back every week if you want me to.
Cool, dude. We're not exaggerating. We'll probably let you have that.
Hell yes.
That's awesome. I'm extremely grateful for that. Three people is it's
Key.
a big difference. Yeah.
Oh yeah. With two, it's really hard to keep the brain focused and doing everything. I'm thinking there was an upload problem, Eric, because I do have it here locally.
Were you guys using a dock somewhere that I didn't know about?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the problem with this show, Eric. Mark, it's so off the cuff. He brings his stuff, he sticks it in Talk.io. I copy out of Talk.io and document it.
Oh, okay. There is this doc that tells you all of the apps we've ever brought.
The previous apps.
But you didn't have, like a show.
No. There's no show. There's individual show prep. No, there's no collaboration.
Because it was Steve C involved, and he doesn't like that.
I like it. I like it that way.
It must not be uploading it because it's 4 gigs.
Oh.
My eye just started twitching. That's not good.
I'm just an over-preparer, so I kind of felt like I didn't know what I was doing. Of course, I feel like that every day of my life. One of my greatest fears in life is I'm going to wake up someday and people are going to realize that I actually have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I found out.
That's how I feel every day at work.
I was gonna say that could happen to me really any time.
Yeah, literally every day at work, I keep thinking, they're going to realize something. That's not going to be good.
And I apologize. I didn't realize you guys were hearing my audio. I'll fix that before next time. This
No
was
big deal.
a spur of the moment thing.
No, it's fine. We've done it.
Status.
Glad I didn't had that porn on mute because that would have been really embarrassing.
I was wondering why you kept smiling.
If there's anybody
I think that-
on this network I do not have to worry about content, I think it's you, Mark. What's the word I'm looking for? Port. No, DHCP. That's what I'm looking for.
DHCP.
DHCP. Where is it? What is my... It can't be 109, can it? Can't be 109. Can't be 109. Oh, let me see my address reservation. Yeah, I'm sure it's one of them. I think it's 162.
Hey, and you handled it well, Mark, for having your first time on our show with another guest named Mark. It went pretty smooth. That could have been just a train wreck.
Oh, yeah.
But you're professional.
I've done close to 600 podcasts at this point. I hope that wouldn't throw me.
Well, it bothered the Steves so much they ended up naming Door. They couldn't hang.
I can't call him Steve after all these years
No, I can't either.
of
Exactly.
Door.
Trust me when I say, Mark, that's the way I want it. Because when I go to conferences and someone says, "Hey, Steve," I'm like, "Oh, what the hell does this guy want?"
You must have read my name tag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When I go to those, when I'm walking the floors, I always have my my name tag turned over backwards.
Nice.
I'm not going to play that game.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Let's see. I made a marker here that says mute. Wonder what it was I was supposed to mute. Let's listen. Did I let one rip? What was it?
162. 162. Okay. So. Port 22. Let's see if that works. Port 22 should be SSH, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not working. It's not working, I say. Yeah, the problem is because it's a 4 gig file, Eric.
Okay.
So I just got to figure out how to get it to you.
Just burn it and then just drop that in the mail.
I'll just upload it to Google. I don't care.
When I'm running the noise filter, I always like to select 30 seconds of silence.
Right.
My own show, it's often very difficult for me to find 30 contiguous seconds where I wasn't talking. Here, I have whole minutes at a time.
Well, and that's why with Mark Surratt, I just literally stopped him. I didn't have to worry about that because trust me, I was thinking getting a solid block of silence, but then I thought, no, we talked enough to where there should be silent blocks for him.
Did I close out of the? No, there it is.
Yeah, here we go. Brain will function once I push it hard enough. Okay, Google Drive. I will say InSync. InSync on Linux is so damn good. Just works so damn good.
I like it on any headphones.
No, not that one. InSync Google Drive synchronization tool for Linux. Butter. It's the only way I can word. Butter. Works like butter.
So is it R-syncing? Is it just a diff copy?
Honestly, I do not know what background tech it's using. I just know everything I put in there, I can watch the progress meter. I've done hashes on what's up there, what's down here, and it always matches perfectly. It seems quick. I will say that. That's why I want to say it's using some kind of rsync.
Yeah, differentials.
Yeah, because I've used some rsync that just works really good. The updated information. Oh, yeah, that's crap. But,
the day I discovered rsync for Windows changed my life.
Yep. And I have actually used that. I actually found it was called, what was it called? GNU for Windows or something like that, where it was a zip file and I downloaded it and it literally had like 100 little executable files, wget, grep, and one of them was rsync. And I was like, ooh.
Sigwin? Is that what you're talking about?
No. It wasn't an environment. It was just Windows executables of Linux commands, because I actually implemented a couple of them too in the environment. They've been using it. They don't even know it. They've been using it for a decade to synchronize data between an internal third-party solution. I'm sucking the information off. I'm rebuilding the data. I'm pushing the data out to a ASP file because that's the only interactive web code and language that we could use. I'm then using wget to copy it down as an HTML file, and I'm then using some command line SSH thing using secure FTP, pushing it up to the public-facing website every 3 minutes. They've been using it for 10 years. They don't even know it.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I got reprimanded when I did it, though. They told me I was not allowed to do that. I said, but didn't I just save us, over $20,000 in one afternoon? you don't get paid to do that. That isn't your job.
I can't talk about it while we're live, but I have a similar situation where I work, where I cobble together a bunch of tools that are freely available to do the things that the network guy said I couldn't do.
Okay, I'm gonna cut the live stream off now, guys. There's only one person watching anyway, and it's probably Mark. So I want to thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for your support.